What's up guys, it's Light Spiral here with the Hall of Fire B9 Farmable team video. So this is actually going to be the last Hall of Fire video I have left to make because I already made B10 like a long time ago. I made like the B4s for everything, and then I made the B10s, and now I'm going through the list, but now I'm at B9, so this is the last Hall of Fire video. For those of you who haven't seen any of the other Hall of Fires, that's not what I meant to say. If any of you guys have seen any of my other farmable team videos, you'll know the standard procedure, but what I do in these videos is I just go over all 5 of the units, how to get them, as well as their possible replacements for those of you who do desire replacements for these units. You'll notice this Darien is coming very close to dying. He doesn't have a single rune on him, so I'm actually kind of expecting him to die, and this team's going to work fine without Darien in it. It'll work fine with 4 men. I'm not really worried about that. But so now to get into the units, the first unit I have here is Susanoo, the Water Ninja. He's over here on the left side. He's a Nat 4 that's farmable from the Fusion Hexagram. If you don't already have him, I'm not going to recommend you go ahead and fuse him, and I'll explain why later as I get into the purposes and possible replacements. Next unit is Kona, the Water Garuda. It's a natural 2-star. You guys can get natural 2-stars from Unknown Scrolls, Magic Shop, Social Summons, Secret Dungeons, Scenario Battles. I think that's it. But that's how you get Kona. You guys can get Kona very easily. Next unit is Shannon, the Wind Pixie, also a natural 2-star. I just went over how to get natural 2-stars. Next unit is Bella Dion, the Light and Yugami. That is a natural 3-star that you have. This has a secret dungeon on light day. If you don't already have it, I highly recommend you go ahead and get one your next light day. Next and last unit is Darien, the Light Vagabond, who actually surprisingly didn't die in this run, even though I didn't have a single rune on him. I don't recommend you run him with 0 runes. I don't have runes on him. I don't use him. But he is a natural 3-star that has a secret dungeon on light day. If you don't have either of these light dark, not light dark, they're both light. Either of these nat 3s, I'd actually highly recommend you go get both of them because they're both going to be really useful and really usable in giants, as well as this, as well as raids or necro when you get into that part of the game. Not really as much. Darien's not really that useful in necro. I take that back, but Bella's still useful in necro. But so now I'll get into the replacements and purposes of these units in the team. Susanoo, his purpose in the team is just to deal damage. He makes your run go by quicker. The quicker your run is, the less time you have to potentially die, obviously, as well as the quicker you're farming, which means the more runs you're going to be able to do in the limited time you have to play in a day. So replacements for him, any damage dealer you have that's not wind. I'm not going to recommend a wind damage dealer, but I will recommend fire, light, dark, water, any damage dealer you have. It's not Susanoo. If you have Susanoo, I just showed, he does work. He's okay at damage dealing, especially after that buff he got. It's not that recently, it was like 2 or 3 months ago or something, but that made it so his second skill scales off speed. So you could actually build him even speed on slot 2. Mine is actually on speed on slot 2. He's like over 200 speed or something. And he does okay damage. It's nothing crazy. That's what I was saying. That's what earlier I was saying that if you don't have him fused, you don't really need to go out of your way to fuse him because you can get a lot better damage dealers. Anything you have could probably work. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Even if it's just Ray Oak or something, it'll work. Next unit is Kona, the Water Garuda. Purpose he has in the team is just to cleanse that bomb off of you. So I know you're bringing a whole unit just because of one left tower on the boss stage, which is probably only going to get 1 or 2 turns anyways during the fight. But if the bombs do land on you, and then they explode, there's no way your guys are going to be surviving that hit. I don't know how much the bombs do, but if I remember right, it was like a ridiculous amount that no one's going to be able to tank. So you need to win this dungeon, basically, you're going to have to either kill the boss before the left tower goes off, CC the left tower so it doesn't go off, or cleanse the bombs off when they do go off, or have immunity up when the bombs go off. But immunity is going to be kind of hard to time right. I would recommend just using a cleanser. So replacements for Kona in reality is just any cleanser you've got that's consistent. It can't be like a 6-turn cleanse. It's got to be like 3 or 4 turns like Kona. Shannon. Oop, my phone locked. Sorry. I have the, what's it called? What's that feature called? Auto lock. I have auto lock on my phone. So, next unit on the team anyways was Shannon, the Wind Pixie. She's actually got 3 purposes in the team, which is surprising considering she's Wind and a Fire Dungeon. But first purpose in the team is the attack buff to make it so your damage dealer does more damage, so the fight ends quicker. Because in reality, if you can farm a dungeon, that's good. That's what you're going for. If you can farm it in 10 minutes, I don't really know if that's what you're going for. If you can farm it in 5 minutes, it's still kind of like, well, it's good, but is it really worth it? If you can farm it like here in 1:30, then I'd say it's pretty good, because 1:30 is not too much of your day gone, and you can farm plenty of essences. So the attack buff just makes it go quicker, which is just better for all aspects of it. You won't die as much, all that stuff. So, got a doctor's appointment now. The other reason she's in the team is that defense buff does help keep you alive. It doesn't help with the bombs at all, but it helps it so the boss doesn't do as much damage. And if you are having trouble in the first 2 stages, because I don't know if B9 does defense break with the crystals, but B10, those crystals do defense break. So, I know that that's a pain. But the defense buff will help keep your team alive. And the third reason is the AoE slow. It's not going to land on the boss most of the time because it's going to glance. But the left tower is a neutral element. So putting the slow on the left tower will make it so the bombs don't go off more often. So your Kona doesn't have to cleanse as much. And there's that. Replacements for Shannon. In reality, an attack buffer, AoE attack buffer can replace Shannon. If you want to, an AoE slow could also replace Shannon. Most of you guys probably already have Shannon. You can just stick her right in this dungeon. But if you really do want to replace her, AoE attack buffer will probably do the trick. Now, Bella Dion, Light and Yagami, in here for 2 reasons. First reason, first skill defense break. It'll make it, once again, it'll just save you time. It'll defense break the boss. You'll kill the boss about twice as fast. And so that'll save you about twice your time. Not exactly, because it'll make the boss go twice as fast, not necessarily the other stages, but it'll save you time and make it so you have less chances of losing by making this battle shorter. Second reason is she is a healer. You're going to want a healer for this dungeon, but if you really do want to replace Bella, honestly, any healer will work just fine. Of course, defense break is nice, but you don't need defense break to win this dungeon. Last unit is Darien, the Vagabond. Well, you didn't see because he didn't die, but I told you he doesn't have any runes on him. This team will work if he died. It would have worked if he died. But he's in the team just because I needed a 4th spot, and he's a good support monster. The 5th spot could really just be any support monster you have, whether you want it to be Beretta, Bernard, whatever. Doesn't really matter too much what you have. An attack breaker. Darien just happens to do a damage mitigation passive as well as an attack break 2nd skill, so it does help a lot. Of course, I don't know if that really came into effect too much.